Time, it seems like things seem to be looking up in the fight against COVID-19. Our reporter Lindo Buhle is out and about to find out how the news of the eased level 1 restrictions is being received in various parts of Gauteng. And at this moment, Lindo, we find you at Silochile in Tembisa. What are you doing at Silochile on a Monday, Lindo? But on a serious note, this will be welcome news in terms of the adjustment of the curfew hours, as well as the adjustments to the restrictions around the sale of alcohol.
Well, that's right, Tulas. Many of the industries have been welcoming the news, saying that it brings much needed relief as far as those restrictions were concerned, affecting many of the businesses. Earlier on, we were able to start speaking to the Restaurant Association, the CEO, who just gave us a sense that they are welcoming this, and they are saying that this will then help them to also try and coordinate with some of the businesses that were not able to keep their doors open. We've also moved on to the tourism industry that raised concerns, saying that one of the things that needs to be done now is to work on the public relations as far as South Africa is concerned, saying that the variant was labeled as a South African variant and now has about 18 countries restricting movement in and out of South Africa. For many of they are natives, but more so we did speak to the health sector that said one of the things they are concerned about is the third wave, and they're saying that as much as restrictions have been eased, one of the things that needs to be observed with a stringent eye is, of course, the fact that are these cases on the rise? Are we seeing a burden on the health sector? And they're saying that government must then be able to take swift and strong action if there is such a thing. But of course, I am at Silochile to answer your question. This is to look at some of the businesses that will be operating that have been given this lifeline, to say that the responsibility now lies with them in terms of some of the patrons that will be coming to such establishments as to what exactly will they be doing to ensure that we do not see the rise in the number of cases. I'm joined by Valentine Mabaso, who's a manager here. Thank you so much, Valentine, for joining us. I guess everyone listened to that family meeting briefing by the president, but just give us a sense of what you guys make of it in terms of some of the regulations being eased.
Well, we do welcome the new level, and we are actually very grateful to the president for taking our industry into consideration. Our hospitality industry has been one of the industries that were heavily impacted by the coronavirus. So we are very grateful, because now at least we'll be able to have most of our staff members back, and the livelihoods of other peoples will be saved as well.
And one of the things I did say was that the responsibility lays with you guys now. We've seen horrible pictures coming out of people disregarding regulations. We know that the wearing of masks is still illegal if you do not wear a mask in public spaces. We know that social distancing is still encouraged as well. But just take us through what you guys have set up here to ensure that some of those regulations are observed.
Well, as a business, we do understand that just because we are on level 1 doesn't mean that the virus is gone. So it's up to us to make sure that we remain open. And for us to stay open, we need to still observe and adhere to the COVID-19 regulation. So as an outlet, we have posters here to encourage people that without a mask, you won't be granted access into our outlet. And also, we are encouraging people to social distance. So if you can check in our venue, we are encouraging people to stay in a more ventilated area. We extended our outlet to have more outside seating. As you walk in, you will be sanitized as well. Filling in a register, we take temperatures as well to ensure that all the protocols are observed.
And one of the things I think that is innovative about what we are seeing here, I'm not new to this environment, and I see that you've actually elected, like you said, to extend the outside area of it and make sure that more and more people are actually stationed outside here instead of inside. But just give us a sense then, you spoke about the staff earlier on, and I think that's the most important thing, that this was one of the hardest hit in industries. You spoke, in fact, earlier on during the other alert levels to say that most of your staff is at home.
Yes.
But just take us through what this means then in terms of that. Have you got your full capacity staff back, and what's happening in terms of those jobs that were put on pause at different alert levels?
Yeah, that's something that we are also going to look into as management. It's much more than just our staff members, it's the whole value chain. We're talking about the local businesses that supply us with many things, such as your coals and our other supplies. So it's more than saving our employment as a business inside. Also, other people that rely on us operating working to also have their business making some money as well. Because when you close one business, there are other businesses, small businesses that depend on us to also remain operational. So in the coming weeks, we are hoping that we can have almost, or if not all, our staff members back, and then we are able to save jobs and save livelihoods as well.
Yeah, and just a very, very quick question. I guess it's better when you hear it from your peers, and you are one of those that looks to be complying with COVID-19 regulations. But give us perhaps a message to some of those that are breaking the regulations, some of those that are not adhering to the regulations stipulated by the presidency as well as the National Coronavirus Command Council. What is the message to some of you all that have felt the brunt of closing down your doors?
I'm sure we all we've all been negatively impacted by this. It's not nice to stay at home without a job. So the only way we can remain operational is if we adhere to the COVID regulations. Keep social distancing 1.5 meters in between benches or tables. Wear your mask at all times, sanitize, social distance. If you can stay at home, stay at home. We do rely on you guys coming through to have lunch, but please behave. Social distance, adhere to the curfew as well. We need to adhere to the lockdown regulations so that we can remain open, because it's not nice to stay at home without work. So it's really up to us.
All right, thank you so much, Valentine Maba. So here, the manager of Slochile, one of the establishments that has, I guess, been given a lifeline, because one of the things they are mentioning to us is the fact that the people that work here, more and more of them are being called to come back to work, and that's the reality of opening up the market. But the other reality is the fact that they are the ones that have the responsibility of making sure that this remains exactly as it is, by making sure that those regulations are being followed. A call has been made to some of the industry peers to say that stick to the regulations, and that's the only way we'll be able to remain operational. To us,
without a doubt, Lindo, and we have the experience of what happened towards the end of last year, as more and more sectors opened up and the restrictions were being eased, and some people thought that to mean that we were out of the woods, and basically people started misbehaving. So if we adhere to the regulations and what we've come to call non-pharmaceutical interventions, and we are stringent and strict about it, hey, we can keep this going. But you say that you are no stranger to that particular establishment, I see. eNCA's eNCA out at Silochile in Tembisa there, just checking in on how business is doing with the eased restrictions.